What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Johnny's Pull List. And it's your boy, Johnny Dubkicks, aka Johnny P313, to give you a review. And today I'm reviewing Power Rangers Unlimited, Heir to Darkness #1. Now, check it out. This book is written by McKinney, with drawn by Simone Ragazzoni, and colors by Igor Monti. Good to have you back on the show, Simone. And as for Igor, sound like he might have hands. When you name your child Igor, he either better know how to fight or know how to hang out with gargoyles. Just saying. Now, this comic is the origin story of one of Power Rangers' most favorite characters, Astronema. Once known as Karone, sister of Andros, the Red Space Ranger. She lived on KO-35 until her parents were murdered, and she's taken in and trained to be a pawn of evil, an assassin, if you will. Now, spoilers. This comic's going to go into the origin story of Astronema, so again, you might already know it, but trust me, it goes to like some little details that are really pretty cool. So I might just warn you to skip ahead if you just want to hear like my rating of it. But all in all, it's a pretty dope book, and I highly recommend you read it before listening to this. All right, now let's get into it. This comic takes place prior to issue number 5 of Power Rangers, and prior to her even having the name Astronema. In the comic, she's simply known as Kay. Now, the comic starts off with Kay beating up some Rangers. 2 happen to escape, and then she's upset with herself after this because she feels she's lit down Ecliptor, and then she may be thrown to the furnace. See, at this point in the story, Kay is still a trainee. She's not exactly the mistress of evil that we know her to be yet. As she's frustrated with herself, she begins to think back on her past when she was training to become an assassin, and we flash back to her as a kid, and we see her with her fellow students, Mal, X, and D. Now, D is her rival, aka her Sasuke to her Naruto. The thing about it is, though, they're both trying to be top ninja here. The comic goes back and forth from the present to the future with a common theme that she's too weak to pass her final test because of the kindness she shows to others. In a way, she's still too human. There's also this go through B storyline that Kay was too old to be trained because she has memories of her past, and she was given to Ecliptor by his competitors to set up her for failure. But the thing about it is, though, throughout this whole comic, we see this moment where we see that Ecliptor genuinely cares about her. She's not just his trainee. She's not just a tool to him. He genuinely cares for her. In one moment, she gets so down and depressed and goes to absolute sorrow that she proclaims that she's a disappointment to everyone, including Ecliptor, which low-key kind of breaks his heart. To motivate her, he gifts her with a locket with a pic of her and her brother Andros, giving her a connection to her past and motivation for the future to do her best. After this, we go to our final fight against D, which ends with Kay pushing her kindness aside and giving D a wicked head blow to the head, scarring her face. At this point, we finally realize that D had to become Divatox. That's why she wears a mask. Crazy, right? That's what I told you. Spoilers, y'all. Kay then has to turn, in her final test, Kay then has to go into this shadowy void and face herself and false futures, some actually being very real. It gives you a lot of Star Wars vibes right here. Empire Strikes Back, when Luke goes into like the tree and everything like that to confront himself. It does a lot of this, but it's really cool though. There's even a point where she confronts Andros. When she emerges after passing all humanity aside, they ask her what her name is, and she proclaims her name is now Astronema, and that they should set course for Onyx, the planet the Rangers are on, and Power Rangers #5. So this is really cool. Like, I give a lot of credit here. Now, the thing about this was that McKinney did a great job of storytelling right here and great pacing. It helps also this book is about 40 pages long. And Simone Ragazzoni's art is outstanding. Again, they do a great job of like conveying the story to us and showing a lot of pain and a lot of the connection that Ecliptor and Astronema have. And Igor's coloring, phenomenal. The cool thing about it is, though, we see her hair change on like these different time periods and whatnot, which really helps us convey like what time period we're actually in. And so all in all, I gotta say, this is a pretty dope book. My only one critique is that I always want like better fight scenes for some of these Power Rangers comics, because again, it's coming from this like based upon these Sentais, and this Power Ranger shows are really action oriented, and sometimes the fight scenes are pretty lackluster. Here, the emotion is great, the pacing is great, the story is awesome. The fight scenes could be better though. That would be my one major critique. All in all, I'm gonna give this comic a 4 out of 5. I think it's pretty dope, and I really think it's worth reading. Check it out. As always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming to the hashtag show. Again, if you want to see more from me, you can go to my Instagram page and find me at JohnnyP313. You can also find my comic books at gumroad.com/JohnnyP313. As always, thanks for tuning to the hashtag show. And always be sure to like, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture. We out.